Shane Waldron needs to make these 5 adjustments going from week 1 to week 2 as the Bears take on the Texans this week. My name is Harrison Graham. This is Chicago Bears Now. Certainly not the offensive debut for Waldron or Williams that they were looking for, but hey, you got away with it. You got the win. Now it's time to adjust. That's what the good coaches in this league do. We'll see if Shane Waldron can do it this week. I got a few suggestions for him. Grade Shane Waldron's Bears debut. A, B, C, D, or F. It's probably a failing grade, right? D or F, I mean, you didn't turn the ball over, so there's something to be said for that. But other than that, I don't see how you could give it a very good grade whatsoever. So A, B, C, D, or F, it's got to be a D or F if you're asking me. All right, 5 adjustments. Number 1, get Caleb Williams on the move. I think just where he's at right now with some of the offensive line question marks, I think he's just more comfortable on the move right now. Now, obviously, you can't call design boots every play, but work a few more in there. Work 4 or 5 in there into the game plan. Encourage him to bail if he doesn't like what he sees. Now, obviously, you want him to stick in the pocket and deliver the football when the protection holds up, but listen, if your center and right guard are going to be driven back some, left guard too, Tevin didn't have a great game. Should be better against the Texans, better matchup, but still, be willing to play to Caleb Williams' strengths, and that is throwing on the run. Obviously, you can't do it every play, but I think manipulating the pocket more is something I would try to do if I was Shane Waldron. Number 2, play Cole Kmet more. One thing that really stood out to me was how little Cole Kmet played. You paid him 4 years and $50 million or whatever it was last year, and he's getting out-snapped by Gerald Everett in a game where your offensive line is struggling. I got news for you. Gerald Everett's not a blocking tight end. Cole Kmet is a good blocker and a good receiving tight end. Mercedes Lewis in a game that you struggled to protect only played 9 snaps. Why is he not on that one play, by the way, where they tried to seal block with Kari Blasingame on the backside? That should be a Mercedes Lewis. There were just a lot of weird personnel things that Shane Waldron did in the opener that I quite frankly didn't like. And in the preseason, we saw a lot of 12 and 13 personnel with guys like Tommy Sweeney and Brendan Bates and Steven Carlson being effective. I get it, different competition, but schematically it worked. I think you got to bring some of that back into the offense. Get the big fellas out there, get the tight ends in the game, 12, 13 personnel, and it starts with Kmet. He's one of the leaders on this team. He's one of the better players on this team. I'm not acting like this is Travis Kelce or anything, but he blocks well in the run game. We know he catches the ball well. 1 catch for 4 yards, 7 less snaps than Gerald Everett. I like Gerald Everett. I think he should have a role on this team. Not a bigger role than Cole Kmet. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So give me more 12 and 13 personnel, which, by the way, you can play both these guys together. You don't have to go 4 and 5 wide all the time. You should do some of that because Caleb did that a lot in college. Get him into a rhythm. But I also think these heavier personnel packages to help with protection, that's the type of personnel, too, when you can do those play-action boots. You can help seal edge with Chip with the tight end. Then he flares out into the flat, easy completion. Get Caleb into a rhythm that way. I think that's just what Waldron's good at. He likes multi-tight end packages. That's why I was surprised at some of the week 1 game plan, to be quite frank. So that is something I'd be looking for this week if I was advising Shane Waldron, which I am. So hopefully he's watching. All right, Rocket Money. Shout out to Rocket Money for sponsoring today's show. It's a personal finance app that will find and cancel any unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and help lower your bills so you can grow your savings. With Rocket Money, I can see all of my subscriptions on one screen. And first thing I noticed when I got going with the Rocket Money app is how much I'm spending per month on subscriptions. You probably think it's like $50, $75, maybe $100 if you splurge. No, it's probably $250, $300. I mean, think about all the things we sign up for, streaming services, all these different deals, like The Athletic, all this stuff. And a lot of it's cool, but a lot of the time I use it for 3 months, then I don't use it for 6, and I'm like, why did I waste $75 over the last 6 months? You can hit the cancel button next to any subscriptions you no longer want. Rocket Money will serve as a middleman and cancel that subscription for you. You don't have to deal with the back and forth customer service. If you use the Rocket Money app to its full potential, you can save over $700 per year. So download the app today, rocketmoney.com/bearsnow. I'm going to redirect you to your app store. Download the app and get started today. It's an awesome financial app. Just to, like, even if you're not looking to, like, cancel subscriptions or anything, it's just a cool app. It's going to categorize your spending. It can help you set budgets. It's just very financially savvy and friendly for, like, a basic financial person. Like, it simplifies it for you. So check it out. Link is in the comments and description. It's rocketmoney.com/BearsNow. All right, number 3, stick with the running game. Obviously, if you hand the ball off 5 plays and get negative 8 yards, try something else. But I thought early in the game against Tennessee, especially on that first drive, Swift had 2 carries for 12 yards at one point, and I get it. That fell back to 8 carries for 6 yards because later in the game they started to get pushed back. But he's getting some chunks early, and you just stop doing it. Like, I get it. I'm saying a lot here. You're trying to get Caleb into a rhythm, but, like, it's okay if you're getting 6-yard chunks with DeAndre Swift to say, yeah, let's force them to stop that before we just throw the ball. Like the opening drive, 6 yards on first down, wide receiver screen for 1, 3rd and 3, incomplete pass. Why not just run it again on 2nd down or even 3rd and 3? Like, I didn't understand that. And I think it's twofold. One, you got to figure out this running back rotation after DeAndre Swift. That has to be handled. I still don't know what it is. Like, is Travis Homer the number 2? Based on the snaps he is. Is Velus Jones ahead of Khalil Herbert? Is Roschon Johnson not in the fold? I don't know. And number 2, don't abandon the run game. Like, you still do have a rookie quarterback at the end of the day. You want to be balanced. And guess what? If you run the football effectively, it's going to help your quarterback out. All right, who should be RB2, by the way? Type KH if you think it should be Khalil Herbert. Type TH if you think it's Travis Homer. VJ if you think it's Velus Jones. RJ if you want it to be Roschon Johnson. It's tough because I think Herbert's probably the most reliable runner. Homer's the most reliable pass protection guy. Roschon is kind of a hybrid of the guy you can dump it down to and pass protect. And Velus Jones is the most explosive, but do you just trust the guy? I mean, that's tough too. So I think you got to figure that out because let's be real. You can't have a 3, 4, 5 running back rotation. It's really a 1-2 punch, and then maybe there's a third guy that has a small role. Like, ideally, it's Swift, your number 2 guy, whoever it is, and then Homer's your pass protection guy. Like, that's probably what you're looking at this point, if that's not going to be Roschon, and he was inactive week 1, so who knows moving forward, but that's an area they got to clean up and figure out. All right, subscribe to Bears Now. We'll be live for every single game this season. 5-0 in the watch parties this year, so let's keep it rolling here. 4-0 in the preseason, 1-0 in the regular season. Tough one on Sunday night. Turn on those notifications so you know exactly when we go live against the Houston Texans. All right, a couple more here. Stop rotating up front on the offensive line. I don't know if it was a conditioning issue. I don't know if they're just tired of Nate Davis. I don't know if they have this love fest for Ryan Bates. Clearly, Ryan Poles likes him. He's tried to get him on this team for 2 years. But pick a 5 and roll with it for a couple weeks. Like, I know on my overreactions video, I was like, should you bench Coleman Shelton? I think it's too premature. If it's this 5, if it's Bates at center and Davis at right guard, if it's Bates at right guard and Davis on the bench, I don't really care at this point. Pick 5 and let's roll. Obviously, if a guy's giving up 4 sacks in a game, you're going to have to bench him. But you got to get some continuity. This continues to be a problem. And by the way, I've been as hard on Nate Davis as anybody. He graded out as your best interior offensive lineman per PFF. PFF's subjective. I'm not saying it's the end-all be-all, but Tevin Jenkins didn't have a great game. Obviously, he's going to start, but that's worth saying. Coleman Shelton struggled. Bates didn't perform as well as Davis. So, again, I don't care who the 5 are. I know who the tackles are. I know Tevin's at left guard. Figure out center and guard. Pick 2 guys. Let's at least give it a couple weeks. Stop this rotation crap, and let's go. Let's see if you can build some continuity, because if you keep shuffling in and out, like, injuries pop up. That's one thing. Don't shuffle if you don't have to. That's all I'm saying here. So we'll see where it goes from here. But I think this rotation crap, like if you're rotating at guard, you're kind of telling me you don't love either option. So pick somebody. All right, don't force the screen game. Just don't. And listen, I'm not saying you can't ever call a screen. All good offenses have a good screen game. But you know what? If you go to a similar concept screen multiple times and it not only is it not getting you many yards, it's not even it's being covered up because you can't complete it because they're sniffing it out. Maybe don't keep going back to the well. I mean, Waldron tried that play action kind of boot to the right, screen back left at least 3 times. Caleb had no chance on any of them. Like, it wasn't there. I want the Bears to have a screen game because it's an easy way to find chunk plays. But if it's not working, it's not working. Sorry. Like, you gotta have another tool in the toolbox there. So I get it. It's an easy way to get easy completions for your quarterback, but you can't just beat a dead horse. I mean, Caleb's getting sacked because there's guys in his face and the running back's not open because they're sniffing it out. So that can't keep happening. If it's not there, it's not there, and find something else to go to. All right, those are my 5 adjustments for Shane Waldron, shifting from week 1 to week 2. Not just like Caleb, I'm not going to bail on Shane Waldron after 1 week, but I didn't think it was a very good debut, if I'm being completely honest. I'm Harrison Graham. Be sure to subscribe for more Bears videos.